Hi, I'm Greg Dell with Dell Disability Lawyers, joined by attorney Cesar Gavidia, and today we're going to talk about one of Cesar's resolved cases against Reliance Standard. And Cesar, I know you've handled hundreds of cases against Reliance Standard, and in these videos we like to talk about the background of why the claimant was denied, what you were able to do, and then how you're going to help the claimant moving forward. So tell us a little bit about your client, occupation, and background that led to the denial.
Sure. So our client was a on-site project manager. She'd worked many years for this company, Swinnerton. She really loved her job. She really loved the people she was working with. And one day she got the terrible news that she had ovarian cancer. She immediately started the treatment for it. Everyone knows how, difficult the treatment is for that. She went through 12 rounds of chemo, a total hysterectomy. Even after surgeries, even though they were successful and she basically went into remission, it left her with a lot of residual problems, ongoing problems, mainly with bladder control, incontinence. The chemo and the radiation basically just, caused those issues. She tried to continue working. She couldn't continue. The biggest problems she was having is in these construction sites. Imagine these are big commercial construction zones. They don't have working bathrooms in these places. They don't have places where you can, just go and you can count on everything being, at least clean. I'm not talking about hospital sanitary, just clean enough to do whatever you have to do.
Well, clarify for a minute, what was her job and what were her occupational duties?
Well, on-site project managers, construction managers, she was managing these massive multi-million dollar construction projects.
Okay.
Everything from the crews going in and working. I mean, these things are set up, she's set up in basically these trailers that are on the job site. And, if they come in with whatever issue, inspectors coming in and dealing with the administrative and then just the people the construction workers on the ground doing the work and different things like that. So it was a big, serious position for her.
And so when she contacted you, because as I'm listening to this, I'm like, so why did they ever pay her? Why did they deny her?
So you would think at least when I first spoke to her, that's exactly, going through my mind is, what are you calling me about? They couldn't have possibly denied you. But they denied her claim because they really, one of the biggest problems for her was she had to use basically like this catheter system to go to the bathroom. And then apart from that, had to wear like adult diapers, on the job sites in case that she couldn't control her bladder. You'd have these portalettes that she'd have to go into. And these are unisex portalettes, and she's a female, and there's people going in and out, and they're not cleaned down or sanitary. Everybody's been in one. They're pretty terrible, and that's where she was expected to go in and having to empty out a catheter and do all that. It was tremendously, potentially harmful for her, and she submitted her disability claim. Pretty straightforward why she couldn't continue to do her job and her occupational duties. And she was almost immediately denied. And this was just for short-term disability.
And what was the reason for their denial, and what did they do to review the file, Reliance?
They, at the short-term level, and we see it all the time, it's this, you don't typically have the people that have been there and have years of experience at the insurance company. It's kind of an entry-level, part of the insurance company, where they're cutting their teeth and learning kind of the whole process. There's not a lot at stake. Usually it's a limited period of benefits. People are dealing with more temporary type of problems. And she submitted her disability claim to Reliance Standard for short term and was almost immediately denied with no real basis. They didn't do any sort of real serious medical review or anything like that. I don't even know if they even did any sort of interview with her. She filled out her claim forms. She explained in black and white what the problems were. She should have been approved right away.
And when you got the claim file and reviewed it, what did you see in there that they had done?
Basically, almost nothing. Almost nothing. A medical review done probably by, I think it was just a nurse case reviewer. If you cut down to it, basically they're saying using the bathroom is not part of your substantial material duties. And that's just absolutely ridiculous. Being able to be comfortable in your work environment absolutely is a substantial material duty.
And did she try to go back to work while she was getting treatment?
She tried to go back to work initially when after the treatment and when she was feeling better, but she really loved doing her job so much that she wanted to try. She just could not do it. Given the work environment she was in, it was impossible to keep things really clean for her and sanitary.
So what did you do to get Reliance Standard to reverse their denial?
So one of the things that I thought it was really important in doing was going through step by step the process that she had to go through to explain to them what she has to do to change things out with the sling and the catheter that she was using, why it was critical and important to have a sanitary work environment, then getting the doctors to get on the same page with that so that they were expressing to the insurance company why she couldn't, to Reliance, why she couldn't possibly work under these conditions. And that was effective for the short-term part of the claim. We got the claim decision reversed. They approved her short-term benefits. But unfortunately, we just got news the other day because it's now a transition into long-term, and often, and we see it all the time, where they just kind of push it through into long-term. There's no real formal process, even though I really requested that we have a more formal process with applications and forms so that because I knew that they would probably try to railroad her into another denial on the long-term part of the claim. We actually ended up having a one-on-one interview with the claims person. I thought that they were actually getting it. That's the thing, is that they make you believe when they're on the phone with you, like they understand what's going on with you, right? They seem so compassionate, and they seem like, yeah, we understand. I understand what you're telling me. Oh yeah, how could you possibly work under this? And then you get a denial. And the basis basically is that they sent it to some doctor who reviewed the file, and they said, oh, I don't see any basis to find any limitations here on why she couldn't do her job. Whether it's stress-induced incontinence, she could wear, basically adult diapers at work. How could anybody be comfortable working under those conditions? I just don't see it, especially in the type of environment she has to work in. And we're still in the own occupation stage of disability. We're not even looking at the issue of whether she's able to perform any gainful occupation or some sedentary job somewhere in some clean office space.
So you win the short-term disability appeal. The short-term disability supposedly sends stuff over to long-term, but what sounds like really happened is that long-term's looking at the same initial stuff that was submitted and probably didn't even look at all the information that you just put in.
Right.
And they're probably basing a denial off of old information, and while you asked them to communicate with you for the long-term, they ignored that, and instead of caring about this claimant and paying, they just say, we're going to deny, and now you got to go through this whole appeal process again.
Right, a tremendous waste of time for this person, and all the while she's out her benefits and her income, and I could tell you nobody wants to be in that position. Anybody would just want to be working, especially if it's in a career and a job they really love, like she did.
Right, because she's making significantly less on disability than she was when she was
making
working.
a six-figure salary at this position. This is not just something that she's just watching people clock in, clock out. She was running the full project and full operation. She was a six-figure high earner in her company.
Since you're so familiar with the claim, you did the short term, I'm assuming you're going to be able to jump onto the long-term appeal.
We're already jumping right into it. Absolutely.
Well, it's a victory, and then it's a sad reality that I think it's important to note, we do a lot of these videos and we talk about the successes, but it's not always a success. You win the battle and you're still fighting more battles. And that's really what it sometimes ends up being. Yes, but this particular company is not one of the better companies, Reliance Standard, and it's a function of the people that they have working there, the quality of the reviews, and this should have never been a denial, and there's a high likelihood you're going to win this again, but it is not necessarily the norm to, right at the time period, it's not abnormal to have short term and then get denied for long term. That's not that abnormal. But to win an appeal at the short term and then simultaneously get a long-term disability denial shows how ridiculous it is that one person in the short-term department immediately goes, yeah, I understand you can't do this. But then there's a new human being. These aren't robots. This is not artificial intelligence. As far as we know right now, they still have humans reviewing these claims. Yet it's that person's opinion based upon who they hired, because they went and hired a hired gun, type doctor probably,
Right.
or an internal doctor, look at it and goes, yeah, let the person go with diapers, or let the person, clean their catheter 5 times a day and they could do the job. But it's so much more than just going to the bathroom, especially when the client's like, we didn't even mention all the other issues, the cognitive issues, the fatigue. 12 rounds of chemotherapy is tremendous, and everything else, and the anxiety and all the other things of dealing with the job on this project that are multi-skyscraper, commercial buildings, dealing with 30 to 40 tasks a day and 100 plus people with, on average, 500 employees on a job site. It's crazy to put this responsibility on this woman. So, well, congratulations on your appeal. I know you're going to immediately get on top of the other one and hopefully win it right away for our client. So if you have a Reliance Standard short-term or long-term disability denial case and you'd like to have one of our attorneys review it, we always provide a free initial phone consultation, and we look forward to the opportunity to speak with you. Hi, I'm Gregory Dell, the managing attorney of Dell Disability Lawyers, and I hope you find the video you just watched helpful. We put these videos out all of the time, and we'd love if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. Beyond our videos on our YouTube channel, we also have lots of information available on our website at diattorney.com, and we encourage you to come to our website. The goal is that we want you to be educated about the disability insurance process, and when you get to our website, you'll see that we have information all about your specific disability insurance company, your occupation, and your medical condition. And we've designed our website such that you can easily search our website to find things that you may specifically be looking for. Now, at our website, we have thousands and thousands of pages of information, hundreds of videos that you can search, plus we're building a section of reviews of all the disability insurance companies, and we have the Ask Our Lawyer section where you can go ahead and ask us any questions that you may have. Now, we realize that you may not need us right now, but you may need us in the future to help you with your disability claim, and we think one of the best ways to keep in touch is by clicking the button below and subscribing to our channel. And most importantly, again, no matter where you live in the country, we're always available. Just go ahead and give us a call. We're happy to discuss your claim and let you know immediately if we can help you.